Good morning. It's 10:30 on Thursday the 26th of February and I'm in Poole, which I think is in Dorset. In fact, I'm absolutely sure it is. I've had quite a morning already, having stayed for the very last night over in Swanage. Left the car park this morning, had a bit of a breakfast, drove the van to the ferry, across the ferry as you saw, and I parked it further up the road, maybe about say 4 or 5 miles or something like that up the road. I've caught the number 50 bus back, which was absolutely packed to the gunnels with pensioners going for a day out on Studland Beach. It was quite an amusing journey actually. It was absolutely jam-packed. It was really funny. It was just like a sitcom. It was brilliant. And so what my plan is for the day is I've got some great news actually, that my problem that I've been having for the past few days, trying to figure out how I'm going to get from Dodledore and West Lulworth to Swanage because of the firing range being closed, solved itself last night with one simple text message from my good friend Don O'Leary, who lives in Port Talbot, who I met when I was walking along the South Wales coast. And he's been saying for a while, I want to come over and do some walking with you. Well, I got a text last night, when can I come and walk? He says, I've got a couple of days off, do you want me to come over? Well, it was just like as if I'd won the jackpot, the feeling of elation, because Don has solved lots and lots of problems all in one go for me, because he's keen to come and walk. He likes walking in that area. He actually used to be in the army, and he used to be on the firing range at Lulworth, so he knows what it's all about. And he was unaware that it was closed and that it was only open every other weekend. And even though I was planning coming back this coming weekend, it's due to rain torrentially all weekend, so I probably couldn't have walked anyway. So it's a massive relief that he's coming over, and he's going to arrive tomorrow evening, tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon, at Lulworth Cove. I'm going to stay at the Castle Inn on the car park again, all being well. He's going to get some accommodation. He's not quite sure where yet, and we've got plenty of time to sort that out. And then we're going to walk together for a couple of days, back again to in the direction of Swanage, and that will complete that part of the Dorset walk, which means that then I will have completed the whole of the south southwest coastal path, where you saw me finish yesterday at the ferry stop. So I'm absolutely made up. It's really good news, because it opens up further options for me. I can now think seriously about whether I'm going to just head east, Bournemouth, Southampton, Portsmouth, or whether I'm going to go back to the Severn Bridge. And I've got 3 or 4 days to think about that before I need to take any action at all. So today my plan is just to do this walk, which isn't very far. I can always move the van further into Bournemouth and walk again if I've got the time, but I've got things to do. I've got to do quite a lot of shopping, because we need extra food if there's going to be 2 of us, some extra beer if there's going to be 2 of us, and I've got the van to tidy out to make room for 2 of us, where we're going to probably eat and stuff, and watch some vids and all this kind of stuff, have a few beers and all that. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's absolutely fabulous news, and Don is a lovely bloke. He's a really nice guy, and you'll like him. He's good fun. He's a good fun bloke. I like that kind of look. So that's just made me feel so much better. I mean, it hasn't cured my bad chest yet, but it's made me feel inside much better. I was starting to feel a bit low and dejected, and thinking, God, this is a real puzzle, and this is the only way that this can be solved with a car and an extra person, and it's really good. It means also that having done this, and if I do decide to go back to the Severn Bridge, which I possibly will do, I might ring my mate Ralph and Mel and see if I can go over and stay over there for the weekend while it rains, and it'd be a lovely opportunity to see them. The other thing is, it'd give me an excuse to go there just to give them a back door key back, because I forgot to do that. And unless they've got something arranged, I'm sure that they'll be quite happy with that. And I think that's definitely going to be the best option, because the further east I get, it's going to be further west to come all the way back, and miles cost money, and it's no good getting all the way to Brighton as an example and then having to drive all the way back to the Severn Bridge. You're talking about a 200-mile journey, if not more, and the traffic, and and while it's reasonably quiet on the coast, it might be a good idea, even though the weather is not quite so good. So that's solved the problem, so I'm feeling much better. Just enjoyed a nice cup of tea at this cafe here at Haven Ferry, they call it, and the queue is forming again for the next ferry. It seems to be a very busy place, this. So, with a clean shaven face and a smile, I'm feeling absolutely great and ready for this. So, as my mate Ralph would say, yummy goo. In Poole, and within minutes of getting here, it's not as if I actually know the lady, but we actually saw each other yesterday. I do remember you and you remember me, and here we are at the other side of the in a different world now. So are you off over there again today then?
No, we just park up at Shore Road and just walking around to the Haven and then back in between work.
I didn't know that there was a beach like this at this side. I was thinking, I put my trainers on this morning instead of my boots, thinking I'm going to be walking on roads.
No,
but here I am in my trainers. But yeah, it's a lovely beach.
Yeah, all the way along.
And that's Bournemouth in the background. So it's it's a beautiful area. They say it's one of the most expensive areas in the country to live, don't they?
This is yes, this is called Panorama Road on the peninsula. Yeah. And
a lot of the famous celebrities like Harry Redknapp and Max Bargraves and all them people have lived there.
He did. He lived down that a little bit further down that way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So yes, I can see why it is said to be one of the most expensive parts. But and you're actually born and bred and from this area generally, then, are you?
No, neither of us are.
Oh, really?
No. I'm from north.
Yeah, I'm from Essex.
I didn't ask your names, by the way.
Amanda.
Kate.
And Kate.
Yeah.
You're from Essex? You're from Essex?
I'm Essex.
Oh, I'm saying nothing about Essex, girl.
Good. I love it. I am very proud to be Essex.
Well, yes, I'm sure you are. No, I'm only joking. I've got a lot of Essex friends. A lovely girl. Yeah. Okay, well, it's been lovely meeting you girls, and have a nice day. And look at this weather again.
I know. That's why we're out and about.
Yeah. Take advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you take care.
Bye now. Bye.
Thank you.
Check me out. Bye now. Bye. Bye. So this is Linda and Peter, and here we are on the beach at Sandbanks. And Linda, you was just telling me that this is, what was it you said?
Voted the top beach in the UK.
Yes.
Bournemouth Beach is. There's 7 miles of sandy beach.
Yes.
And the 20th most beautiful in the world.
Really?
Yeah. And the beach here through the winter time is open to the dogs, so we can take the dogs for all the beach.
Really?
7 miles of beach. It changes in March, isn't it?
Yeah.
It changes in March, but they still have lots of area for walking the dog.
Well, that's a massive relief to you people then, isn't
Yes.
it?
Absolutely,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially on a day like this today,
Yes.
26th of February,
I know, it's incredible.
and we've been down here for the last 3 days.
Where are you from?
From Poole.
You're from Iceland,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
we live in Poole,
Yes.
so it's nice and easy for us.
Right.
And well, you just can't beat it, can you?
No, absolutely.
Absolutely not. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
So that was on the news this morning, our local news,
Really?
about the beaches.
Oh, so you'll be out celebrating tonight then, I guess. So do you know any of these celebrities who live in these particularly lovely houses then? I mean, I know I mentioned I was talking to somebody about it yesterday, that Harry Redknapp used to live up, or I
Well, he still does.
And Max Bygraves used to live up here as well,
Yeah, Max
apparently.
Bygrave's much further down towards
Yeah.
Bournemouth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But,
So how far is it down to Bournemouth? I mean, we can
here.
see Bournemouth from here. Look, with the skyscrapers. Well, not skyscrapers.
Well, we've walked from here, haven't we?
Yeah.
Is it about
Yeah.
5 miles?
Yeah, well, that's okay. That's
Yeah.
well within my capabilities.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah,
walking
yeah.
for 2,500 miles now.
Have
So,
you really?
yeah.
Where did you start from?
Oh, I started up north in Grimsby and walked up to Scotland. I didn't go around Scotland. I went to Carlisle
Right.
and all the way down the west coast,
Uh-huh.
down to Land's End, and now I've arrived here. But talking about the weather,
Yeah.
I walked 19 days in January.
Really?
Yes, and while it was snowing and everything,
Yeah.
I was still keeping going because the snow didn't reach the coast.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's been the same with February. I've walked nearly every day.
Yeah.
There was a bad weekend a couple of weekends ago I had off because it was bad weather. But no, look at this. I mean, I
know.
can't believe it. It's fabulous.
It is unbelievable.
I mean,
isn't
there's
it?
scenes here. We've been to Cyprus a couple of years ago, and it just looks like Cyprus.
Yes.
The only thing is the water's not as warm.
No,
Yes, the
no,
water
obviously
is cold.
it's going to
Yeah.
make a difference.
Yes, it's cold, the
Yeah, yeah.
water. But we was in the water last year, was we not?
Really.
So many times. It was just,
You still like your swim then?
oh,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're looking good, Nick. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 66.
66.
66.
60 odd.
Clickety click,
Good.
66.
60, yeah, wow, that's
I know.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I think having a dog helps you.
Well, I'm sure so. And it's a nice little dog, isn't it?
He is
I
our
wasn't,
little...
wasn't sure who I was when it looked to me as if to say, who's this? It's
This
doing
is
the same.
Alfie.
This is Alfie.
Alfie. Hello, Alfie. Come on then.
Say
That's
hello,
it.
Alfie.
Oh, well. Anyway, it's been lovely meeting
And
you.
you.
Okay, have a nice day.
Your name is?
Jim, I'll give
Jim.
you a
Yes,
card
please, Jim.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, lovely, Jim.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
This is Ron and this is Glynis, and I've just seen them coming walking along the beach, having a nice casual walk. And so this is a regular thing for you, Glynis?
It is, yeah, we love it along here. We just walk all the way, Hengistbury into Bournemouth along into Sandbanks. It's just lovely.
It is, isn't it?
Beautiful, beautiful scenery.
I'll be honest with
And
you,
on
it's
a
the first
day
time.
like this,
Well,
it's
yeah,
fab,
yeah.
isn't it? Yeah,
It's like
really
midsummer,
nice,
isn't it?
isn't it?
I mean,
Yeah.
there is still just
You
a
couldn't
little
ask
nip
for
in the air,
more,
but
could you?
nevertheless, it's beautiful, isn't
Yes,
it?
and so healthy.
I wasn't aware that there was such a big beach at Bournemouth, to be honest with you.
No, you
this is
can.
about-
You can
about
walk
7
from-
I
miles.
think it's several miles round, you know, you go
Yes.
from, It's a nice walk right the way around from Sandbanks. You keep going until you get to our place, at Barton-on-Sea.
Yes.
So it's a long walk round, but it's nice to do.
Yes.
We do it often enough.
We do, we love it.
Now, you're a retired coastal path walker, aren't you? Saying you've done some walking in Cornwall.
Yes, a few years ago with my daughter.
Yes.
It just seemed a project. We did part of the North Coast, the Cornwall coastal path.
Yes.
It was very good, very strenuous walking, but
Yes.
quite enjoyable. And
Yes.
I had to follow that up with my son, so we went to Great Gable up in the lakes for that.
All right.
We went up Great Gable to the top
Wow.
with my son.
Well, that's good going, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
But I mean, that North Cornwall coast, as you said before, Tintagel and that way on, it's pretty hard going at times.
Oh
isn't
yes, yes, yeah. And you get down to Perranporth and you've got beautiful beaches down there,
yes.
so it's a nice place to be.
it?
Yes.
Yeah, Perranporth's gorgeous, isn't
Yeah.
it? That beach there is I mean, when I say it's like this, it's of a quality. This is a good quality beach, but it just seems to go on forever, and you've got all the surfers and everything.
Yeah,
and
it's just lovely.
It's fabulous, isn't
And
it?
here you've got, when you get down to Sandbanks, you can go round and you've got the windsurfers and you've got the yachts and you've got the boats coming out of the Sunseekers and
Yes.
everything. It's just, it really is
fantastic,
very,
isn't
very
it?
lovely.
Very.
Beautiful, beautiful
And you've got
area.
a link between the two because Rick Stein at Padstow has now opened up at Poole as well. So
Has he really? Well, I mean, I get the feeling that Rick Stein more or less owns Padstow.
I think he does, yeah.
But people would tell. I was talking at length with someone in Padstow about the locals are all up in arms because of the number of holiday homes now, and they can't get jobs, and the jobs they can get are all minimum wage and
It's
everything.
the same story really in most of the holiday
Well,
places.
yes.
So
Well,
we
I mean-
always feel down here that nearly all the houses are rented out, you know,
Yes.
the flats and that. Yeah.
But people make the choice, don't they, whether they're going to
Oh,
sell or
yes,
stay.
yeah.
And I
That's
was in.
right.
Let me just think. Where was I? I think it was on the south coast. It was. The name's gone, I'm afraid. This is the problem. I go through so many places. But they were saying there that there's hardly anybody left at all now.
No, and a lot of the villages, particularly the little small fishing villages that people with second homes love to own as well.
Yes.
And yes, there is nobody that started out life in those villages left
That's
anymore.
right.
But
I've
you
thought
know.
of where it was now, Salcombe. And
Salcombe,
and I
yes,
said,
the
you know,
marine-
they were saying that like about
Salcombe Marina and
nine out of 10 houses now are holiday homes.
yes, and they're
But
beautiful homes down
it's
there.
no
They
different
really
wherever
are
you go
beautiful.
because we were just over in Portugal
Yes.
week before last, and we were at Villamoor, and there almost every flat, every house is holiday places.
Yes.
So they're going in February,
Yes.
and there's very few people there. All
Yes.
the houses are just shut and boarded up.
Yes,
You know, so,
yeah.
I mean, it's just the same as you get.
It is, yeah. That's the world. Anyway, it's been a pleasure meeting you and
Thank
talking
you
to you.
very much. Yes, and
uh,
talking to you, and I hope your trip goes really well.
Isn't it funny how you meet some unusual people on the beach?
Yeah, you never know what you're going to meet. do you?
Whichever, looking at it from both sides, But it's been a pleasure to meet you, and thank you very much.
And
Okay,
you,
thank
thank
you
you
very
very much indeed. Enjoy the rest of your trip.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Bye-bye. I've been walking now for about maybe 2.5 hours, and I'm heading. I can see Bournemouth Pavilion, which I think might be a good place to stop. And I couldn't resist stopping and talking to Jane and Christina, who have got this wonderful. What do you call this?
Beach hut.
A beach hut.
Shed.
It's the most fantastic beach hut I've ever seen. To be honest, I've never seen inside one, to be honest with you. And I mean, it's only about say 6 feet square, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So do you hire this all year round, or?
No, just rent it for the winter from
Yeah.
Poole Council,
Yes.
and it's a sanctuary. It's wonderful.
Yes, I can imagine.
And my lovely friends come down from London to
Yes.
to share it with me. No, you were invited.
Right. So you wouldn't obviously want it in the summer because it would be like heaving across
Oh,
along here.
hideous! Yes.
Yes, and you obviously
Yeah.
go other places in the summer.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And so you come down quite often from London, Christina?
I'm going to be. I only discovered it about 5 weeks ago, and I'm going to be here every month. I think.
Really, really.
So I'm going to watch and see where she leaves the key in her house. And then
Right, that's a good
know.
plan. So you two people, you know each other
I
from...
think it's nice if you're here on your own, actually.
Yes,
And
well, that's
so,
a good idea.
She says so.
Well, you could sublet it off her, couldn't you? For certain, you know, you have it for 3 days and then have it for 4 or whatever. Or, you know, you'd argue about who's going to have the extra day. But so you two people have known each other for a long time, I guess.
20 years.
20 years. Oh, well, that's amazing. And I know you told me earlier you're both solicitors, so that's interesting. That's incredible, and that's
It is incredible.
You're incredible women,
That's
aren't
what
you?
the clients thought.
Well, yes, I should imagine. So when you send letters to each other, it is literally a solicitor's letter then. But you'll email each other now and all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
So what made you decide on something like this then? What gave you the idea? I mean, if you've had 20 years, your kids would have grown up in here as well then, won't they?
No, I was living overseas until 5 years ago, and then when we moved back, I'd always fancied having a beach hut, and then found out that you could rent them from the council in the winter.
Yes.
And I've done it every year ever since. So I'm already booked for next year.
Yes.
So sorry anybody out there that wants to rent it.
Right. Well, it's amazing, and I mean, look at this.
It's wonderful. That view is
Can
just...
you see the Isle of Wight? Oh, you can
Yes,
see the
on
Isle
a good day you can.
Yes,
and
you
the sort of tail end of Hengistbury Head.
Yes.
But I don't know if you can see it today.
And Old Harry's Rocks.
Old Harry's Rocks over
Yes.
there.
Yes. Yes, I was over there yesterday. There was an artist painting it. When I say painting it, I don't mean literally doing a painting of it. And I stood behind him watching. It didn't look anything like, to be honest. But it was only early days. He was just putting the first coat on. Well, no, I did jokingly. I said, well, yeah, it's a big resemblance, quite sarcastically. And he thought that was quite funny.
He might be watching this.
Well,
Yes,
he probably. No, that's okay. It was John McCall. He was a lovely guy. I mean, you could put an offer in it. It might be a famous painting one day, having been on my blog. I'm going to have to move on now because my chocolate biscuit's going to melt. And I want you to carry on with it. I'm sorry to interrupt your conversation.
Very nice to meet you at all. It's wonderful to meet you. Good luck.
You're lovely, lovely ladies. And it's been an absolute pleasure to meet you. And thank you for your hospitality.
You're most welcome.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Good luck.
Now this is an amazing coincidence. I was walking in the opposite direction this morning when this lady was actually getting the pram and everything and getting the baby ready as I was walking past, and I don't know how many, 3-4 hours later, I've come the other way and she's putting it back in. That's quite uncanny, isn't it? Really?
It is.
Millions to one. Your name is
Laura
and
Abby.
And Abby. Obviously you live in here.
Yeah.
And Do you do any walking at all, or
Try to when it's nice. Look at it.
I know.
Beautiful.
Why wouldn't you?
It's been fabulous, hasn't it?
It
Well, it's
has.
just a quick hello anyway, ladies. And,
Hello. Good luck with it.
But that was one of those moments in life where you think, oh, I wish I'd have had a camera to record that.
4
But
hours later.
totally spontaneous.
Yes, definitely.
Nice to meet you.
And
Nice
you.
to meet you too.
Good luck.
Bye now.
Good
Bye.
luck.
Well, it's just after 1:30 now, and I've decided to come off the beach, and I've got back to where the van was. I'm not quite sure how far I walked. I would estimate maybe 6-7 miles, something like that, and in that 3 hours, and I stopped and talked to 1 or 2 people, including those very interesting ladies in their cabin. That was a wonderful conversation. I just wanted to bear in mind the thoughts that are running through my mind about it's a beautiful beach and it's very scenic and everything, but I can't make a half-hour programme out of just walking along Bournemouth Beach. Very nice as it is, it's just a beach that's 7 miles long, and so, you know, I need to be thinking about new ideas of people to talk to who may be interesting. Your comments would be welcome, because I'm not going to see or identify many walkers. When I say walkers, I mean walkers like me as a walker. You can spot the odd 1 or 2, and you see some very interesting looking people, and I think I'm going to be taking potluck with 1 or 2 in terms of are they interesting or not, and I say with all respect to them, I won't know until I actually speak to them. The problem with that is once you've entered into a conversation and you give them a card, if they want to watch it, they're going to be very disappointed if it isn't there. And so you'll just have to back my judgment, and it's going to be like this now for quite some time actually. I know I've got the next couple of days with my friend Don finishing off the parts of the walk on the Dorset coast, and then it's either going to be carry on from here in Bournemouth and carry on easterly, or go back to the Severn Bridge, and that's the decision that I'll be reaching when I've finished with Don, and that'll be on Friday, and then I'll know what I'm doing. So today I've cut short deliberately because I need to go and do some shopping. If Don's coming, I need some more food, I need some more milk, I'll need some more bread, all the usual things that we're going to need for breakfasts, even though he might well be staying bed and breakfast somewhere, and we're going to need some more beer as well, I would imagine, and I've got some other shopping to do as well. I need to try and find a place where I can get the van hand washed, because I can't go through you know, one of the roller things, you know, the jet washers and all that stuff. So I've got an afternoon's work, because then I'm going to be driving back over through Wareham and heading down towards West Lulworth. I'm going to a gig tonight, if I can find it, in Langton Matravers, I believe it is. The guy in the cafe where I've been calling in Swanage, I went there this morning for a cup of tea at about 7 o'clock, and it was a different guy. Instead of Ben, who was the young man who gave me all the tips and advice about how to do this walk around this area, and he said he plays in a band and there's a gig, so I quite fancy that, and I can sort of bed down somewhere in that area, and then all I need to do is just drive into West Lulworth tomorrow to meet Don. So it's going to be taking it easy for a couple of days, and I don't mind that at all. You have to look a step no further than look at mine.
We put gravel down, he can do that. We all like him. Because this is sort of
Yeah, you might. I think you can walk a coastal path from here down to Chine.
For me and you, hurrah for the Black Ball line. For once there was a Black Ball ship. Swing way, hey, hey, hurrah! Oh, 14 knots an hour could trip. Hurrah for the Black Ball line. They'll carry you along through frost and snow. Swing way, hey, hey, hurrah! Oh, and take you where the wind won't blow. Hurrah for the Black Ball line. You'll surely find a rich gold mine. Tilly way, hey, hey, hurrah! Oh, take a trip on a Black Ball ship. Hurrah for the Black Ball line. Oh, Maggie, Maggie, May, they have taken her away, and she'll never walk down Lime Street anymore. Well, she robbed so many sailors and captains of the whalers. Unity Robin, no good Maggie May. Oh, well, do I remember when I first met Maggie May. She was cruising up and down on Canning Place. She, a figure so divine, like a frigate of the line. So me being just a sailor, I gave chase. Roll down, walk around the great boys and roll down.
When the wild coast of Africa it did appear,
roll down.
The poor nervous transports did tremble with fear.
Walk around the great boys and roll down, and we will roll, roll down. Walk around the great boys and roll down.